Hey up and welcome to the video. And as you can see in the title, this is all about the 60mm Nikon Macro lens, f2.8G ED, and a very sharp lens it is, and I'll try and illustrate that in this video. And I did say that the flower was going to be the star of the show. But I decided to kill two birds with one stone and go off into the woodland and get some macro shots with this lens. And in conjunction with the Nikon D850, it's a great partnership, particularly with the resolution. So there is one downside to this lens, and I'll talk about that at the end. But for now, we're going to join the video in the woodland. Welcome to this woodland, and there's two reasons for coming here today. One is to try not to get prickled by anything. One reason is to get some shots with this lens, macro lens, so you can see the quality. And the other reason is I want to satisfy myself whether or not I can adopt this woodland. And when I say adopt, I'm not going to buy it or look after it. I'm looking to photograph it through the seasons. And this woodland is where I did my bluebell video, which you may not seen. And when I came here, I just concentrated on looking for bluebells. I didn't pay much attention to the rest of the woodland. So to kill two birds with one stone, as they say, I'm looking at the woodland today wide-eyed. I'm looking at everything, but obviously I'm looking for macro compositions. But I'm also going to walk around the whole of the woodland just to convince myself that it's good enough to adopt. And one of the main reasons is, it's a bit wet there, this drops down, hold on, let's just get on this. One of the main reasons is it's just a 10-minute drive from home. So for me, God, there's lots of wildlife. Say for example, if I wake up and we've got misty conditions, I can nip out and come to a woodland to get some misty shots. So then we've got autumn. What's this going to look like in autumn? I think it'll look pretty nice. And then, as I've already captured here, although I was late, we've got bluebells. It's quite a large woodland. Well, I say large, it's reasonable. It's looked after by the Woodland Trust. It's managed by the Woodland Trust. So it's very natural. It's very unspoilt. And let's see what we can find to photograph. So for macro, we're looking at shapes, colours, textures, and we have to get down low and we have to get in on the detail of what we can see. We're so used to, I think as landscape photographers, you get used to just looking at the wider viewpoint, the wider vista, and you've really got to adjust your eyes to start to look closely at what's in that smaller world. And that's what macro is all about for me. It's looking at that smaller world. So I'm going to have a walk around, see what I can find, and when I find my first macro composition, we'll have a look. It's looking good at the minute. It's looking adoptable. Okay, we've got a composition. We have a first composition, and I like this. It's a little flower I've noticed whilst I've been walking through, and this little flower's got other flower buds around it that's going to open. So let's do a macro shot here. I like that. Pleased with that. It's a first shot, and a bonus to get a little beetle on there as well. So let's go and find another one. Let's go and see what we can find. I am using today to film this video, I'm using Gorilla Pod, which is good for low down shots and good for attaching to a tree. I've got the taste for these macro images now. Lots of dead bluebells. Let's carry on walking. Come now to what I believe is like the corner of the woodland. It tapers off, so either side now I can see farmland. So this is definitely the end of the woodland. So I'm going to make my way now back up the side where the bluebells were. Second macro composition coming up, and here it is. So we've got this arrangement of leaves, which I really like. There's 5 leaves in a very nice pattern against this large tree trunk. So we've got greens against the browns. I might isolate the leaves. I might do some editing in Photoshop and take out the where it joins onto the main stem to make it look like it's just sitting on its own on this like that. Let's have a look how this shot is going to work. Unfortunately, it does appear to be a bit of a picnic spot here, so people have bought their picnic and rather than taking the rubbish away, they've just left it. Not something you see every day in a typical woodland. I wonder why that's fallen over. It's probably quite photogenic, but do you know what, I can't get near enough to it in the undergrowth, so this might look nice surrounded by mist, maybe. But yeah, it's interesting that. Look at the roots system, and things are still trying to grow from the roots, and I'm starting to get bit by things now, so I don't think I'm going to be here much longer. I think all the bugs and the creepy crawlies are waking up and they're thinking about breakfast, and I've arrived. A la carte, human skin. I wanted to come back to this subject that I did take last time, and I don't think I did it justice, and I don't think I'll be able to do it justice today. And we've got this horizontal branch that's clearly fallen. It's either fallen over or it's grown horizontal, and we've got the leaves coming up out of it, and it looks really unusual. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm sure it exists, but I thought, what a nice shot. It's definitely going to make in autumn. But I kind of thought, can I get a better shot today with this macro lens? And as you've seen with the bottle of whiskey, the macro lens is also good as a normal standard lens as well as a macro lens. It's alright, I'm starting to hear things now, and there's lots of squirrels around. I think everything's waking up and it's munching on me. So I'm going to try and get a shot of this, and I'm thinking I'll get a shot from an angle, take the shot from an angle. Will it or won't it work? Is it going to be an autumn shot? I think it is, you know, or sunlight. So I'm not going to take it. God's truth, what is it? What am I being eaten by? So, not going to take this, I'm going to find something else. So when I came across this scene with the Jack Daniel's liqueur, as it is, next to the tree stump, I kind of thought, how weird is this that somebody's came into this woodland and sat there and drank the best part of that drink. I find it quite bizarre, to be honest. So I decided to take a very standard shot with the macro lens, just so you can see the quality. And I don't know if the YouTube compression is going to show this, but let's look at that label really blown up. So this is a blow up, or a zoom in, or a crop in of that bottle, and you should be able to see the actual pixels from the sensor. That's just how sharp that lens is. And all the shots that I've took in this video were at f11, and it seems to give very consistent results at that particular aperture setting. So I believe this lens is discontinued now. Today I found it on sale new for about £743, but you can get lots out there second hand around about £300. So you could say it's a budget lens indeed, but the quality of it is not budget at all. Let's just look at some different apertures as a comparison. So this was a garden shot, and you can see here as we cycle through the different apertures, we do get up to f40, I think it is, where the image gets very soft, too soft to be usable. But as you can see, as we cycle through these images, the f11 for me gives the best result. It gives some nice bokeh in the background, and a lot of these shots I think have got some nice bokeh in the background. I don't like saying that, let's just say it's blurred. So there is a downside to this lens, and because it's 60mm, it's got a minimum focusing difference of 7.3 inches, which is quite near. And if you get near to the subject, you can easily block out the light. You cast a shadow on the subject, and that's the only downside to this lens. But I tend to be round about this distance when I'm filming, and I crop in post-processing to get the final result. There is another alternative. There's an 105mm lens, and I've not tried that. Maybe that's a lens for the future. But for me, when I do macro, which is not enough, this does the job, and it does a great job. Really pleased with this lens. So thank you for watching. Thank you if you're a subscriber. If you're new here, then consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. For life, I'm never going to ask you to buy me a coffee on this channel. If you like the video, give it a like. Next video, I'm still trying to get to the coast. I'm still trying to get the tides to align with my days off. Funnily enough, they do align next Monday, but I've got my car in for MOT. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get to that coast line soon. And on that note, I'll see you later.